The ultimate secret is out. Imu is the literal sea god, and our boy Luffy was seconds away from a brutal execution until Scopper Gaban crashed the party just in time. Welcome back, Nakama, to the absolute peak of One Piece. One Piece. Chapter 1189 is officially titled King of the World. This week's cover page features Nami strictly scolding the goofy antics of Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, who are literally drawn as monkeys. The storyline drags us straight into the climax of the battlefield. Imu summons a brand new divine weapon called the Sea God Sword and stabs Luffy without any mercy. And it doesn't stop there. Imu pins the sun god, Nika, against the trunk of a massive tree on Elbaf, using both of the blades already piercing his body. The Void Sword and the Sea God Sword. In another area of Elbaf Island, Usopp suddenly freezes up. His observation haki detects that his captain's presence is in a critically dangerous condition. Yep, it is absolutely mind-blowing. Did Oda just indirectly confirm that Imu is the sea god when they summoned that Sea God Sword? Oda is serving up a massive, crucial theory explosion here. For over 2 decades, we've understood that devil fruit users are hated by the sea. Vegapunk once explained that devil fruits are the manifestation of human hopes and dreams, while the ocean, as a symbol of Mother Nature, rejects them because they are deemed unnatural. But here is the lore drop that changes everything. What if the Mother Sea isn't just a natural entity? What if Imu, the supreme ruler of the world, is the physical personification of the sea god themselves? This explanation totally overhauls the power hierarchy in One Piece. If devil fruits represent freedom and dreams, then Imu represents the crushing depths of the ocean, ready to drown every single one of those dreams. Therefore, when Imu wields the Sea God Sword, they aren't just swinging a sharp weapon, they are channeling the pure curse of the sea. This perfectly explains why Luffy, even in his Gear 5 awakening form which represents absolute freedom, can be totally paralyzed. The act of pinning Luffy to the giant Yggdrasil tree is the literal symbolic crucifixion of freedom by the god of oppression. Besides that, the fact that Imu is the sea god figure gets even stronger considering the names of the contracts given by Imu to their followers use ocean terms, namely the Shallow Sea Covenant, the Deep Sea Covenant, and the Abyssal Covenant. But another equally fascinating thing is Usopp once again using his advanced observation haki to detect Luffy's condition from a pretty massive distance. Because the last time Usopp flexed this was back in the Dressrosa arc, that hilarious yet epic moment where Usopp successfully awakened his advanced observation haki abilities, still in the area where Usopp, the Straw Hat Crew, and Loki are located. The ice-shackling Gunko has now melted entirely, but unfortunately, Gunko has still lost her consciousness. Next, we witness Prince Loki reminiscing about his conversation with Shanks exactly on the day King Harold passed away. In that memory, Shanks explicitly warns Loki that the world government is secretly preparing for a great war, and the true enemy of the world is the figure known as the King of the World. How could Shanks possibly know about the existence of Imu as the King of the World? Shanks did indeed visit Mary Joy's in the past. He actually agreed to a shallow sea contract with the Gorosei. But when he was about to be promoted to a Holy Knight and receive the Deep Sea contract, he decided to dip out and vanish, never to return to the Holy Land of Mary Joy's again. Why? Because Shanks discovered a horrifying truth. If he accepted that position, his consciousness and free will would be completely wiped out, and he'd be controlled by a supreme entity known as the Great One, none other than Imu. Shanks didn't just run away from Mary Joy's. He was dodging the reality that this world is ruled by a godlike dictator who controls the seas. That is the main reason Shanks pulled up to Elbaf to have a chat with Loki. Shanks realized that when the final war pops off against the Great One, the side of freedom is going to need the greatest military force in the world. Yep, the Giants of Elbaf. The flashback ends, and it turns out Imu didn't just give the Omen power to Summers in killing him. It turns out Imu also handed legendary weapons to both of them. Summers receives a sword named Gram, aka the Sword of Wrath, which is specially prepared to face off against Zoro, while Killingham gets a spear called the Lance of Longinus, aka the Spear of Holy Command, to hunt down Sanji. This is where a crazy lore fact drops that will leave every Nakama absolutely stunned. Oda officially confirms that all the weapons used and distributed by Imu are the authentic weapons belonging to the 19 founding kings of the world government from 800 years ago. And it turns out these weapons actually exist in real-world mythology. The second sword summoned by Imu in this chapter is Fragarak, the Sea God Sword. Background check. In Irish mythology, Fragarak, known as the Answerer, is the sword belonging to Mananan Maclear, the sea god. This blade has the power to weaken its enemies, and no armor or shield whatsoever can withstand its slash. Next, the Lance of Longinus originates from Christian relics and is a divine weapon. According to the Gospel of John, this is the spear used by a Roman soldier, traditionally known as Longinus, to pierce the side of Jesus during the crucifixion to ensure he had passed away. Because the spear made contact with divine blood, various legends claim that this weapon holds incredible miraculous powers, even granting the power to conquer the world. This spear is also highly known as the Lance of Longinus, or the Spear of Destiny. Then Gram, the Sword of Wrath, is a weapon originating from Norse mythology. Gram is a legendary sword forged by Voland, the legendary blacksmith. Originally, this sword was pulled from a tree trunk by Sigmund. However, the sword was later shattered and reforged by his son, the great hero Sigurd. With this mighty blade, Sigurd successfully slayed the terrifying dragon Fafnir and snatched a massive amount of cursed treasure. In Germanic legends, this sword is also known as Balmung. Yep, by handing over those weapons to the Holy Knights, Imu is indirectly forcing Zoro and Sanji to fight against the historical weight of the world government founders. Zoro's ambition is to be the world's strongest swordsman. Now he's got to cut through a sword that was once swung by one of the kings who shaped the world order. Another weapon belonging to the 19 founding families is also mentioned. That weapon is called Muramasa. Muramasa, born before 1501, better known as Sengo Muramasa, was a legendary swordsmith who founded the Muramasa school and lived during the Muromachi period in Japan. If we look at all the weapons used by Imu so far, there's a possibility that only Nemesis is their personal black blade. Whether that sword was inherited from a previous king, or it is truly Imu's own personal blade. Imu stands fully victorious over the helpless sun god. Imu raises the ultimate execution weapon named the Xingtian Axe. Based on Chinese mythology, Xingtian is a legendary giant entity who challenged the supreme deity. Even after his head was decapitated, Xingtian refused to lose and kept swinging his axe using his body. Imu swings that giant axe down, determined to chop off Luffy's head, but suddenly, the execution is successfully blocked. It turns out that figure is none other than Scopper Gaban. Gaban is absolutely insane with his speed. He jumps right between Luffy and Imu and catches Imu's axe. The chapter then ends with their axes clashing against each other. Gaban's action of being able to block a direct attack from the king of the world proves absolutely that he is a top-tier legend whose strength is still insanely terrifying. Unfortunately, guys, One Piece is on break next week. What an absolute roller coaster of a chapter. Do you think Zoro's haki is strong enough to break the legendary Gram sword? And how long can Gaban actually hold off the sea god? Drop all your wildest theories in the comments section below. If you loved this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and give me the hype, bro. Until next time, Nakama, stay hyped.